But tonight I won't let that feel it in my body, feel it in my feet, and it feels so good inside. Don't need anybody, I just need the beat. I just wanna dance all night. I don't want to remember everything you did. I'm done with the hurt inside. Feel it in my body, feel it in my feet, and it feels so good inside. And I always wanna feel like this. I close my eyes and all my troubles fade away. Your words once got so deep into me, but tonight I won't let that Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget your name. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna dance the pain away. Forget your name. Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget your name. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna dance the pain away. Forget your name. Forget your name. Gonna make myself forget about you, baby. Gonna make my head forget about your name, yeah.
When it comes to staying fit for life, it's most people's experience that maturing slows our fitness results down. But it doesn't have to be that way. And I'll tell you why. Today, we're going to talk about how to mature and to have be your fittest ever for the best years of your life. And to help me do that is my expert today who's done it herself and who's helped so many people do it too. So, if she gave you a list of what to do, would you want it? Okay, if yes, hold on because we're going to share that right now. Welcome to Waist Up Wardrobe. I'm Christine Vartanian, a civil engineer and attorney turned personal style expert and image consultant. As the founder of Jade for All Seasons, I am passionate about unveiling the inner confidence of my clients by developing their personal style. But is getting dressed up still important in our virtual world? Well, that's where my experience can help with what I call Waist Up Wardrobe. Waist Up Wardrobe is a podcast for all things you need to conduct an outstanding Zoom meeting. It's about how to dress for the camera, but it's not just about the clothes. It's about everything you need to know to show up on brand and professionally for the camera. Join me in the Waist Up Wardrobe studio to discuss how to navigate this virtual world and dominate from behind the desk. Hello, Virtual Nation. Thank you for being here on another episode of Waist Up Wardrobe. And I am really, really excited about today's topic because it is a topic that is relevant to almost everybody who is 40 plus and who feels like, as they've matured, that they can't really meet those fitness results and goals that they want so badly. So today we're going to answer so many questions around this topic. And I just want to acknowledge my super cool producer, Rick Moscoso, who's always in the production room making this whole set go round. There he is popping in spirit, but he might make an appearance or two on the show itself, like a real live appearance. This is going to be a dialogue. Please put your comments in, ask us questions, because today I have an expert who not only has reached such optimum goals in her life when it comes to fitness and health and well-being, but has helped so many people over 40 do that too. So she's going to be a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge. Please pop in the comments and ask your questions. Tell us what you're thinking. We want this to be a dialogue, and we want you to feel like you're part of the show. So we're happy that you're here. Let us know you're there by giving us some love in the comments and being, participating here. So I want to go ahead and introduce my guest today. Bev Saunders has always been interested in health and fitness. And in that world, she worked in the medical field for over 25 years. During that time, she saw so many people that had health issues that could have been really lessened and prevented by just taking better care of themselves. And that included her parents. Bev is an award winning leader and business developer. She is a published author, speaker, certified life coach, and certified personal trainer. She's recently launched her own company, Bev Saunders Max Coaching and Training, to help people reach their health and fitness goals. Bev works mostly with women over 40 because she knows that at that age, our bodies start to change. And there are not many fitness professionals that understand this age group and these changes that happen post 40. She's a golf enthusiast and has helped golfers improve their game with fitness and mindset. She's a grandmother, and she's a grandmother of 6 kids and a great grandmother, and loves to travel. But one thing she'd not put in her bio, I think is so remarkable about Bev, is that she entered into a bikini contest at the age of I think she was 59, and we're going to be talking about that. So please help me welcome Bev Saunders to the show. Hi, Bev. How are you today?
Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for having me. I am awesome. Thank you.
I am so excited to see you. I'm so excited to have you here because the what you do is something that so many people struggle with. The solutions, the problem solving that you do is really something that a lot of people go through, the majority of the population. But before I get started with the interview, I just wanted to do something that I do at the top of the show usually, and it's really basically about getting to know you and who you are. So it's my 60 seconds to get to know you. I'm just going to do a this or that question and answer, and you just tell me what you're thinking, okay? Cats
Okay.
or dogs?
Dogs.
Do you have one?
I have 4.
Oh, my. That's amazing. What kind of dogs do you have? Are they all the same breed?
2 dachshunds and 2 chiweenies. So a chiweenie is part dachshund, part chihuahua. So yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that. A chiweenie. That's an interesting mix. So they're all pretty small?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the heaviest she's 12 pounds, but most of them, the little ones are like 5 and 7 pounds. So
Well, I think you share the love of dogs is something that so many people share, and I love dogs too. Okay, next question. Bikinis or one-piece suits?
I had my time in a bikini, and I like one-piece suits when I'm at the pool or the pool or the beach or anything like that. It's just more comfortable.
Okay, but see, I asked that question because of your accomplishment of, entering into a bikini contest at 59. I mean, amazing. That was amazing. We're going to talk all about that later. Camping or boating?
Camping for sure.
Are you a big camper?
We are. We have a RV, and we love to go.
Okay, so let me ask you my final this or that question. RV or Airstream? Because I know those are 2 different communities.
They are. It's an RV for sure.
Okay. And what do you love about your RV so much?
Well, what I love about it is we can, pretty much go anywhere. I can take my dogs, and they love to go as soon as they hear the keys rattle. They know we're headed out, or even just to go, stalk it or do anything, and they love it. So that's the big reason, because we can go where we want, and I can take the dogs.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Well, I thank you for, for appeasing me and answering those personal questions. But I think it's so cool to get to know my guests just on a personal level, and some of the things that make them tick and the things that they love. But I really just want to dive deep into today's topic because I know firsthand, personally, and so many people around me who've struggled with their fitness goals as they've matured. I mean, I remember when I was in my 20s, I could, consume a 3,000 calorie meal and go burn it off in one workout. And when I hit 30s and 40s, more so, I found that I couldn't do that anymore. It shocked me. I was like, wait a minute. I could do this easily before, and now I actually have to watch what I eat, and I have to change the way my eating habits, and maybe sometimes even exercise more. So I am so interested in today's topic, and I will tell you, so many of my peers are going to be too, because I think there's going to be such valuable information here. And if you're watching this or listening to this later, make sure you put the hashtag mature and shine. I'm saying it at the top of the show because I know so many people might be joining us early, but and maybe getting off or before the end of the show, and I want you to have the benefit of our giveaway today. Bev has given us something so valuable that could help, a tool that will be so valuable in your fitness journey. So I want you to have it. So it's hashtag mature and shine in the comment box if you are interested in getting her checklist that we're going to talk about. But Bev, I just want to take a moment and I want you to tell me a little bit about your own fitness journey.
Well, I've always worked out. I've always, I haven't always eaten the greatest because, like you, when we're younger, we could eat anything and burn it off. But really, it did start for me in my 40s, really getting focused because as we get older, we all decide, and my parents at that time were having health issues. And I was like, I don't want to be this way. I was working in the medical field. I saw a lot of people, going through a lot of things, and they were young, in my opinion, in their 50s. And it's, I felt bad and I didn't want to be that way. I didn't want to be that person on a ton of prescription medications. I didn't want to be that person hooked up to an oxygen tank. I didn't want to be that person that couldn't have the energy to play with my grandkids whenever I had them someday. So I wanted to, and I started it to be there for my kids mostly. And now, of course, it's all about my grandkids. So I really started it to get myself healthy and, really learn. And it always interested me. And I always read a lot of fitness magazines and was always in awe of these women that, the way they looked and how they took care of their bodies. And so it just kind of evolved. And, then people started asking me, well, what are you doing? How do you do this? What do you, and, just giving nutrition tips and health tips and that kind of stuff. So that's really kind of how it worked out. It was mostly my own, my own health that I want to have lots of energy. I want to be out there swinging the golf clubs when I'm in my 80s and 90s and still be able to enjoy it.
Yeah. And who doesn't want that, right? Who doesn't want to feel strong for life? And, I was reading an article today actually about how the prime of your life is really, you accomplish the most in between 60 and 70, something like that. That's like the most productive time of people's lives in this day and age. And it's like, you want to be healthy for that. You want to be present. And I completely agree with that. We really see eye to eye on that. And I just want to talk about your competition, your bikini, your swimsuit competition. Tell me what prompted you to do it, and tell us when you did it, and tell us that about that a little bit, because it's so fascinating.
I did that. It was last May, so not quite a year ago. And as I said, I had a lot of friends in the fitness industry that competed, and, they kept saying, you should do it. You should do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not that dedicated. I couldn't be that dedicated. And then one day I decided, I was turning 60. I just turned 60 in November. And I thought, I'm going to do it. Why not? It was like, I was like, why not? So I just made the decision that I was going to be that dedicated person. I was going to do it. It's kind of one of those things you always, that I always wanted to do, but I really didn't think I could do it. So I thought, you know what, this is the time. I'm going to do it. And I, as soon as I put my application in, I was like, oh, this is real. And so I trained for a good, probably 10 months, really, really focusing my last 4 months. But, I wanted to get out there, and I wasn't going into it with any expectations of winning anything. And I didn't win anything, which was totally fine. My whole expectation was just to be able to do it and walk across stage in those 5.5-inch heels and not fall flat on my face. That was the big thing. So, and just get out there and do it and show my kids and my grandkids that, you know what, you put your mind to it, you can do it. So
You can do anything if you put your mind to it. That's amazing to me. So 10 months of training, most athletes, if they're like signed up for a marathon or a triathlon or something like that, they're training for a year in advance. So what tools or resources did you use to get there? Because I'm sure the trial and error of what's working, what's not working kind of came into play.
yeah, and that was the whole thing. It was of course, I had a coach. I had a fitness coach, a personal trainer that worked with me. And she, really helped me through the process. And she had competed before, so she knew going, what to expect. And so it was great. I could ask her lots of questions. And then I also had a posing coach, which, they help you pose when you go out on the stage. So I worked with her for several months because there's certain poses you have to do, and you have to do them in a certain sequence. So you have to know how to do that. And, it was just really working out, and working with my diet was huge because, as we're talking about here today, over 40, your diet's a little bit different, and the weight doesn't come off as easy, and your body doesn't shape up quite as easy, as it did in the past. So you have to work a little harder. So that's why I started training so early. Some girls, obviously, if they do it a lot, they're always in training, or they, really the last 2 months or 3 months, they really lean down and really get into it. Well, I knew going in, it was going to take me a little longer. So that's why I, started almost 10 months ahead of time.
Yeah, that's amazing. And one of the things that you shared with me that is really the reason why I wanted to do this show was that your trainer was in her 20s. And as she was training you, she was a little bit surprised that putting you on a regimen that she's used to wasn't really working for you. And then you guys both had an aha moment. Can you tell us about that?
Right. She was amazing. And, but, she was 19, 20. And, she would say to me, gosh, you're just not losing weight as quickly as you should be, and, I kind of had to explain to her, well, it doesn't happen as easily for women over 40. Our bodies are different. Our hormones are different. Things are different, and it doesn't happen as fast. Like you were saying earlier, you can eat a lot and go out and burn it off and no problem when you were younger, and we all could do that.
Yeah.
Well, as we get older, our bodies age, our bodies change. If we've gone through menopause, anything like that, our hormones are all, usually starting in our 40s, our hormones start to change, kind of appear more often. Our estrogen levels go down. So there's a lot of things that happen. And so it was interesting to work with her. And like you said, we had a lot of aha moments together, because there was things she would ask me to do in my training. My knees aren't the greatest anymore. So, it's like I've had ACL replacement on one of them. So, to do lunges and things, it was painful for me. So I had to really work with her, and we had to work around those things, which was great. She was awesome. We did it, but it was just one of those things that, there was a little more tweaking probably than, just giving a 20 something a meal plan, and the weight goes off like that, because it doesn't happen anymore.
No, absolutely. So I think that just in that story that you just told, there's so much really good things that happened, right? You have somebody who is in the industry, the fitness industry, that is, trains people, but she realized that she cannot train somebody over 40 or 50 that is in the same way she trains her 20-year-old client, right? And for you, I feel like you also learned that the 20-somethings don't realize that, and I feel like the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can set yourself up as you mature for success, when it comes to results and just staying fit for just everyday living. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. Yeah. And, not everybody's going to enter a bikini competition, or to do what I did. And, but, and it may be whether it's losing 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or just getting in shape for something, or, if you're going on a vacation, anything like that. Yeah, we have, as we get older, it's a little bit different. And maybe we don't want to be, on stage in a bikini, which is okay. And We don't want to, go through all of that. And most of us don't. So, and most of us, that's not a normal thing. But,
Yeah.
you want to stay. What I found really is, it's about staying healthy and feeling good because, even in the industry that you're in, when you feel good, it shines,
Yeah.
it shows through. And so, when you feel good about how you look, and, we all like to look good. And we all
Yeah.
like to feel good, and we all like to look good. That's the important thing, because some people say, oh, I don't care, but really deep down everybody cares.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
everybody does.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so it's just a different, your body's a different animal, when you get up into your 40s, 50s, and 60s. And I think that's a thing people have to realize. There's so many things out there on the internet. There's so many diets, and there's so many fad things that go on, and then people go on them and they can't understand why they don't lose the weight in 2 weeks, or why they don't, it's different. It's all different. So
Yeah.
you have to have that understanding
Yeah.
of,
And it's
yeah,
and it's different for every individual. I mean, and
absolutely.
I always I always say that if you just have a way to move, like, it doesn't matter where you are on your fitness journey. If you just have a habit of moving, whether it's just hiking or walking or, competing for a marathon, whatever it is for you that motivates you to want to get out there, that's the right thing for you. And you're
Right, right.
absolutely right. Yeah, you don't have to enter into a bikini contest to feel like you're at optimum fitness level. You don't have to, be a triathlete to feel that way. So I think that's really important for people to understand, that the show isn't about, reaching, somebody else's high point. It's about your own high point.
Yeah, and I think as we get older, we realize that, we have that more of a, it's not, I'm not out to impress everybody, it's just about me. I want to feel good. And again, I think that's so important, just what you said, just move,
Right.
as long as you move,
Yeah.
that's important, because especially as we get older, you've got to move.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is,
Yeah.
even, I mean, some of my clients, they just, want to be able to go out and play a round of golf and not be like so exhausted afterwards. And
Yep.
so that's what's important to them. So perfect. Like
Yeah.
you said, everybody's got a different.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different factors that play into reaching a fitness goal that you set for yourself. I mean, we know, I mean, and the thing is, like I was saying earlier in my teaser video, there really is no secret. A lot of us know, we just don't do, or we don't think it's going to work. So we just decide not to do it. But there are a lot of factors, especially as you mature, that you have to pay attention to. We're talking about eating and exercise, taking care of your mind. I mean, sleep. There's so many things that come into play. Water. Could you give us a couple of those factors that were so critical when you were really focused on getting to your optimum goal? And I'm sure that plays into the work you do with people too.
Yeah, I think the biggest was the water. Water is so
Interesting.
important to stay hydrated. And as we get older, we need a little bit more. Our body's mostly water. So you want to keep it hydrated. It helps your brain, it helps every cell in your body, because almost every cell is made up of water. So I think water is huge. And I think one of the second thing that people don't realize is sleep. Sleep is so important, because that's when your body regenerates itself. That's when your body is healing. And that's when, a lot of things are going on while you're sleeping. And, it takes energy to sleep. And a lot of people don't realize that. When I say that, they go, it takes energy to sleep. I'm just like, yeah, your body is going through a lot while you're sleeping. So you have to have even good energy when you sleep. So sleep is so important. And I know as we get older, especially women with our hormones, a lot of times that's a big thing I hear is, well, I don't get enough sleep. It's because of my hormones. I'm having hot flashes. I'm, going through this. And I don't sleep. I don't sleep like I used to. Well, there's a lot of things you can do naturally to help you sleep, and to help you sleep longer. And really, we, at this age, we need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I know it sounds crazy, because everybody's like, 9 hours? Who gets who has the, affordability
Who has the
to
time?
sleep?
Who has
Yeah,
the
who has
time?
the time to sleep 9 hours? But, you have to adjust your schedule. And that's one of the things, and it's amazing how much better you will feel. So I think water and sleep, and, of course, what you eat, what you put into your body is a huge, thing too. But, I think water and sleep are the two biggest things that people don't do.
Yeah. So the water, the sleep, the exercise, movement, and diet. I found with my own journey is that changing my diet really helped me see results. I mean, I had to do all these things, but that was sort of the link that was weak in my system, is that I wasn't eating enough protein is what I had
Absolutely.
realized. And so I was very hungry all the time. I mean, the thing is I love food. That's the other thing. Like if I had to choose
We all do.
what to yeah, what to do, but if I had to choose eating or exercise, I would say I exercise 10 hours a day as long as I can eat whatever I want.
Right?
But that is not logical. That's not practical. But the thing is, eating, that's what I had to adjust moving into my 40s to see a significant change. And do you have an opinion about that and any tips for people?
Yeah, and what you said about protein is so important, especially to us women over 40. Protein is huge, and most of us do not get enough protein. And, there's all kinds of different ways you can add protein into your diet. It's not like you have to strictly eat, chicken, fish, and, you can eat meat, that type of thing. And, but there's so many ways to get protein in your diet. But I would say 98% of my clients, when we look at what they're eating, it's the protein they're not getting enough of. And protein helps you feel full, like you said. It helps you stay satiated, what they call feeling full, when you have more protein. And it's something we all need in our body, especially as women. As we get older, we need more and more protein. And I like to say, 80% of your health journey is really your diet. 10% is the fitness, is the exercise. And then 10% is your genes. Now, we all know we can't change our family, we can't change our genes. But, when I was younger, I was always heavier. And my sister, who was older than me, was always very thin. And so it was always, growing up, it was hard on me because she was always thin. She was always trying to gain weight. I was always trying to lose weight. And she was built like my dad. My dad was a very small man. In fact, he was a jockey for a while. So that's, he was small. And I was built more like my mom's side of the family, which are the Scotch English, side. And so I was always told, oh, you're bigger boned. That's why you're bigger boned. Well, then one day I kind of made that paradigm mind shift. Again, mindset's a part of it, is, in my head, I'm like, well, I'm half my dad. Why can't I be like, that half of the family? And so I made that mind shift that I can be like that. So after being told that all my life, that's really when, my weight started coming down. I started getting in better shape, that type of thing, because I made that mind shift,
Yeah.
But back to the nutrition, protein is, I can't stress enough how much, protein is a big thing,
Yeah.
watching what you eat.
Right. And that's what made a difference for me on a personal level. When I realized that that I wasn't getting enough protein, that's why I was hungry a lot. I actually did a lot of other things. I'd love your opinion on it. So the protein was I took the level of protein up in my diet, and I then eliminated a lot of the carbs. I hardly had any carbs, and if I had a carb, it would be like a brown carb, like something that had fiber in it.
Right.
And I stopped eating cheese, which I'll tell you, that was one of the hardest things. But now I don't even think about it at all, because I found that the cheese, even though it has protein in it, it's the fat is it's just very little value of protein. Do you have any thoughts on any of that?
No, I think that's, you have to do exactly what you did. You have to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times I love cheese too, and I don't eat it as much as I used to. And I always say nothing's off limits, unless you want it to be, unless you say, I absolutely am never eating this again. And most of the time when we say something like that to ourselves, it's like doom because,
Yeah.
unless it gives us some, bad effect. But, if you say that to yourself, like, I am never eating ice cream again, it's not going to work,
Right.
and it's okay. You might have to give it up for a while, but then you can kind of go back to it and in moderation, everything, you hear that all the time, everything in moderation. And it's true. I love chocolate. I love a good cookie with my tea after lunch. And so, I'll make my own cookies so I know they're healthy and I know what's in them. And, I'll sit and have my cookie, but I know I don't do it every day. And I know, like I say, I don't do store-bought ones. I make my own. So it just, you have to find your own limits and what works for you. And I think that's so true when you're working with somebody one-on-one as a trainer, or as something like that, you have to find your own limits and you have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, and you as a trainer, it helps you be held accountable, but it also helps you customize things. So for me, the eliminating a cheese made such a big difference in my results. It was such a big impact that I must have been eating a lot of cheese. I don't know. But it made such a big impact in my results that I don't even really look for it anymore. If I'm at a party and there's a cheese platter, I'll have a bit of cheese. It's not like it's never, but
Right.
it's very, very rare. And it really helps me with my management of my weight and my fitness. But again, it's like all these things, right? I feel like when I want to tell everybody this, because when I discovered that my protein intake was not enough and that the cheese was adding to my, holding me back, it was like an aha moment. And I finally made a breakthrough. And I tell everybody about this because I want everybody to have the opportunity to try it, because it doesn't work for everybody, but I think that it could make a difference in your life. And if it does, if it gets you that 5 pounds, that last 5 pounds, why not? Right. But because you are a certified personal trainer and certified life coach, and anybody can call themselves a life coach, but you're a certified life coach, which is a whole different level. So you have all these tools and skills and resources that you use to support the women you help with exercise, with eating right, with care of the body, care of the mind, with supplementing, with coaching on sleep. All these factors are so important in a really great program. Tell us a little bit about that, and just in general, what that looks like. If somebody was working with you, do they get like support in all those areas?
They do. And I think that kind of separates me a little bit from others, because I believe so much in the mindset, and that is a huge factor. So I work a lot with my clients on their mindset and making sure that they're in the right spot, and what they're saying to themselves and everybody around them is spot on. And not only that, it's the accountability. I do a lot of accountability coaching, because it's that's huge. You have to be accountable to somebody. I think now some people can be accountable to themselves and they make it work. For me, that didn't work. I have to have coaches. I have coaches in almost every area of my life, because it helps me with accountability. And that's what I provide that too with my clients, along with, training. So I do training one-on-one, and I also do virtual training with my clients.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, the virtual world is here to stay. That's what birthed Waist Up Wardrobe. And the idea that you can do this virtually nowadays, and probably even before, you used to do it virtually before even everybody went virtual. Like I was doing all my work virtually too, but that could open up the door for so many people and help you reach so many people. But what I love about you is the level of the fact that not only, so you had the challenge in a lot of different areas. You had the challenge of the genetics. So you can relate to the person who's struggling with that. You had the challenge of, turning a new decade of life and going, what am I going to do to really reach my optimum? You had the challenge of training for a very elite competition and getting there. And you understand supplementation, you understand how that interacts with food, you understand the woman over 40 and 50 and beyond, and you realize that all this is governed by mindset, because you're a life coach. I mean, honestly, I think that you are like such a unique compilation of everything somebody needs to really achieve their goals when it comes to health and fitness. I'm sure your clients benefit hugely from that. Did you design your life like that, or did it just kind of unfold based on your own journey?
No, it kind of unfolded, based on my own journey. I took a lot of mindset training because I think that's so important, and it interested me. It really interests me how the mind works and how our brains work. And so I really got into that. And then when I really realized in, sports, in fitness, in anything, anything, our mindset is so important. So it's just always interested me. And again, with the fitness thing. And so it's just all kind of melded together, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, let's do this. So I think that that really separates me and helps my clients, because I do give that piece of it as well. So
Yeah. And would you say that you were prompted to focus on women over 40 because of your journey as entering into this competition and seeing the challenges that you met and really trying to help that age group?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you look out there and there's not a lot of people that address that, our age group.
Yeah.
They just,
Yeah.
it's a one fix all across the board. And that's just not how it is, when we get into our 40s and above. So I
Yeah.
think that's, yeah.
Yeah, I think that age group, because they struggle so much with trying to achieve their goals, the people in the industry that are, under 40 don't realize the challenges as much. They haven't experienced it. And so I think that's really unique about you. And I can see why that would be really helpful just in terms of relating to, those who are seeking your support. So if people want to connect with you, Bev, how would they do that?
I'm actually in the process of getting my website set up, but right now, the easiest way is probably by email. And my email is maxcoaching1@gmail.com. And that's probably the easiest, or you can connect with me on my Facebook page. My Facebook is Bev Saunders, Max Coaching and Training. And I do weekly lives on there. I give tips, and, I have a Breakfast with Bev segment that I do that talks about, because breakfast is so important. I just did a thing on that this week on how important breakfast is. And a lot of people aren't breakfast eaters. And so, or they don't eat the right breakfast to keep them fueled for the day. So anyways, that's probably the best place is on my Facebook page, Bev Saunders, Max Coaching and Training. And you can message me on there, or you can shoot me off an email, and happy to chat.
And we put that here in the comments for people to refer back to. You are giving away a really great tool to the audience, whoever's listening to this on the replay and live. Mature and Shine, hashtag Mature and Shine. And what are they getting?
I'm giving you my ebook on how to double your energy in 2022.
Mhm.
And, I give you some tips, and which include some of the things we talked about here today: hydration, sleep, different things you can do to keep your energy up and to help, double your energy. And it really will, and it's probably nothing that we all haven't heard before, but hopefully I've put it in a way that maybe this time you'll listen.
Yeah.
We all hear the things, but we always don't, take them into account, or we start them, say, I'm going to do this, and then we kind of, wane off. So, I'm happy to, excited for everybody to have it. So it's an ebook just for you.
I'm excited for people to get it because it's a great tool. It just organizes things for you. Sometimes I believe, Bev, that people don't do things because they don't know how to organize it, right? They don't know what to do first. And they feel like, okay, if I put all the effort in and I'm not doing the right thing, then how am I going to get my results? And it's going to be all that work for nothing. And then they go through this whole cycle right in their head. And honestly, really, it's about sometimes people just need to be organized. And I love in that ebook how you address all the factors that it takes and what people need to do. If people know what to do, sometimes if they're told what to do, they can do it. It's just a matter of sometimes they just don't know what they don't know. Water, sleep, diet, protein, content, exercise, not necessarily exercising like crazy, but doing the right exercise for your body. So lifestyle, mindset, all that in one package. And I really appreciate you offering that to us. And Imani is here and she says, that sounds really interesting. Can't wait to read the ebook. She has put the hashtag mature and shine. And thank you for being here, Imani. It is very interesting when you think about all the little details that go into really getting to your optimum health and wellness. So every episode, Bev, I wrap up with the Waist Up Wardrobe Weekly Wrap Up. And so I'll be asking you a few questions here. So the main takeaway, if there's one takeaway that everybody should take away from today's show, and I think Bev is got held up there, got frozen a little bit. That's, technology for you. The one takeaway, if I'm going to summarize what I heard Bev say, is that you have to, exercise for life. And so pick the one thing that really, really speaks to you, that you feel gets you moving. If you're somebody who doesn't want to run, don't run, hike. If you're somebody who takes walks with your dogs, that's a movement. That totally counts. Do that. If you are, somebody that wants to really challenge your mind and body and want to sign up for a marathon, do that. Whatever it takes for you to get moving, that's the right thing for you. And I would say that would be the main takeaway. But whatever it is, do one thing that makes you want to move and motivates you. As for tools, I mean, Bev has laid it all out in her ebook. With the hashtag mature and shine, you get her ebook and it lays out a checklist for you. It's a great tool for you to go through and see what actually you've been doing, what part of it you're doing, and what part of it you can add to your routine. And when it comes to tips, it sounds like Bev was saying that when you're eating, you want to eat the right things. Increase your protein intake. For me personally, increasing my protein intake, eliminating cheese intake, and generally dairy in general, really did the trick for me. And it really made me get to a different level. I would say that would be one of the major tips. And finally, I'm going to say action items. If I'm speaking for Bev, I would say that she would probably tell you, check out the ebook, look at the ebook and see what parts of it you already are doing great, and then see where the gaps are and start filling those in. Maybe you need somebody to hold you accountable. Maybe you need a fitness coach to hold you accountable. Maybe you need a mindset coach to hold you accountable. And Sharon's here and she put in the hashtag mature and shine. Thank you, Sharon, for being here. And Bev is giving away this amazing ebook that is really functions as the best tool. That's the action item I'm highlighting for everybody here. Go download, we're going to send you the ebook if you put the hashtag mature and shine in the comments. And basically it's a checklist of everything that goes into really reaching your optimum way of living. And Bev is back. So Bev, I was just sharing the action item for people to take into action. I was referring back to your checklist. Sharon is here. She's saying she put in the hashtag mature and shine. Imani is here. She put in the hashtag mature and shine. I'm telling anybody who's listening to the replay to go back, get that checklist, put in that hashtag, get the checklist, and use that as an action item. Would you say that, what would be the action item you'd recommend for everybody to just propel them right into action right now?
I think the biggest thing is, sorry about that, my computer died.
You're fine.
I think the biggest thing is just, do something. It's just one step at a time. Don't
Absolutely.
try and do all the things all at once. And especially if it's a big change for you, one step at a time. And that's, I think, really the most important thing.
Yes, it's baby steps. Honestly, when something seems daunting or a big challenge to me, I stop in my tracks. I sit down and I take it one step back and I was like, I'm going to break this down to baby pieces. And that really, really helps. So it's beautiful advice. Thank you for being here, Bev. I'm so thrilled that you're here. You are one of my favorite people that I met this year. I feel like really, really, you're just such a sweetheart. And I know that you put your heart into your work. And I can't wait to download your ebook myself and check it out. and you learn from it. So thank you for being here. And there you have it, Waist Up Wardrobe Nation. The Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up in a nutshell. Go get that ebook because I think you're really going to enjoy it. And remember, it takes a lot of different things. And remember, just like Bev said, it's baby steps to get there. You don't have to do it all in one big fell swoop. Thank you, Sharon, for being here. Thank you, Amani, for being here. Everybody else, thank you for being here. Join us next week, same time, same place at 11:30 where Pacific time, where we bring you a brand new Waist Up Wardrobe show just to make you feel great, look great on the inside and out, and as you show up on camera. How would you brand your Zoom room and build a Okay. How would you brand your Zoom room and build? Okay, I'll start over again. How would you build your brand? What was the title of this episode? And speaks to your brand without actually using words. So it's really okay. So one tip you can use is think about. I forgot what I said for tips. And finally, go and listen to the episode because you'll be able to pick up a lot of little details how you can up-level your very own Zoom room. Is that good enough or should I do it again? That's Rick. He puts me on the spot with those blooper reels. All right. And Suzanne Moore is here. Is that somebody you know? Yeah.
She's my very dear friend and neighbor. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. She's saying mature and shine. She put the hashtag in. Having more protein is the best part of making my diet so much better with more energy. Bev, you are the best. And you are. So thank you so much. This was so fun. Did you enjoy your time? How did it feel?
I did. It was like we were back, when we first met, just sitting next to each other chatting. So it was great. I appreciate you asking me. And thank you for everybody that was here listening. And we can't wait for you to get the ebook.
Yes, so you can go back and look at the comments and, maybe interact with everybody and get them their ebook. And how are we delivering the ebook, Rick? Are we delivering?
I have the link, or Bev, if you want to send it to them directly, it's probably a little bit more personal.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And that way you maybe you message them or something in Facebook, however you want to do it. But yes, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that we had some live interaction here and we got to do that. And hopefully we get to do this again sometime. This is wonderful. Thank you for being here, Beth.
It was so much fun and my total honor that you asked me to be on. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. It was so exciting. So anyway, have a great day. I'll see you soon. I guess maybe in Camera Glam or something, right? Not Camera Confidence. One of the things that we've been doing recently is we keep the live feed going so people could see behind the scenes what's going on. And Sharon's here. She goes, okay, to Facebook Messenger me for the ebook. Okay, yeah, she said Facebook Messenger her. But it's funny because we kind of keep it going and then people get to see behind the scenes what's going on. Did you end up losing your internet or was it the battery?
No, my battery died.
Yeah.
And now my light's off because I haven't returned it back on. So that's
fine. It doesn't. It looks fine. It looks fine. But that actually was a great blooper. and it's just part of life. And you see how I'm used to it because I tried to pick up right when you left off. I try and be very general because I'm not the expert. But I just did my best.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. Well, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. You guys too.
Right. Bye, Deb.
Bye.
So how did it go, Rick, from your perspective?
Yeah, I thought it went great. She did.
Yeah.
She did really good. And a lot of good information there. So
yeah, I think this is very full of good information. I hope that people take advantage of this ebook and connect with her. She's a sweetheart. I really like her a lot. She's awesome. So I guess I had to speedy recap, and we have an appointment at 1. So should we? Should I do it really? Let's do it really quickly, and then
you're like one take, Christine, right?
Yeah, that's why you have so many blooper reels, right? All right, I will try my best. But okay, let's do it.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Do this, and I'll mute here in a second, and go when you're ready.
Okay. As we mature, we find that meeting our as we mature, we find that meeting our health goals and our fitness goals gets harder and harder. So, what do you do? What do you do to actually address that as you get into your 40s and 50s? Well, on the Waist Up Wardrobe show, I talk about all the things you need to do so that you can feel great and so that you can mature with grace and full ability to live your life to the fullest at that second half of life. And I have a guest who really shows us a checklist of how to do that.
Hey, that was good.
Was it good? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So the next part.
Next part.
Okay. Let's see. Training. I forgot my title for the show. I'm coming. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. In episode 77 of Waist Up Wardrobe, training and upside down results as you mature. No more of that, because in the Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up, in a nutshell, I'm going to tell you the main takeaway is that we give you a checklist of all the things that you need to pay attention to as you mature in order to reach your maximum health and wellness level results. Okay, I'll try it over again. I really butchered that one. Okay. In Waist Up Wardrobe, episode 77. In episode 77, in Waist Up Wardrobe, episode 77, maturing and getting upside down results. No more of that, because in the Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up, in a nutshell, I'm going to tell you the main takeaway is as we age, we understand that it gets harder to reach our optimum fitness levels, but it's not impossible. And in this show, we talk about how to get there and all the things you need to pay attention to. Further, the tool that I think I need to do that whole thing over again.
No, I thought it was good. I mean, you can go further and then just start with the tools.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna try. I think
Unless you want to do it again.
Yeah, only because my thoughts are disconnected. I need to connect.
They're all connected.
Yes,
okay. All right. Go ahead. Okay.
In episode 77 of Waist Up Wardrobe, maturity and upside down results. No more of that. And I'll tell you why, because in the Waist Up Wardrobe weekly wrap up, in a nutshell, for episode 77, you're going to realize that it takes a lot of different things, adjustments and accountability to really get your results that you want after 40. And my expert tells you how to do that. So go get her tool. It is a checklist of all the things you need to pay attention to as you hit those maturity levels in your life where you are really trying to up level your fitness and health. Okay. And finally, a tip, just do one thing. Look at her checklist and do one thing that you think is something easy for you to do and fit it into your schedule. And finally, action item. All you have to do is take baby steps, that one thing, right? And if you don't like to run, then walk. Do whatever moves you. It doesn't have to be something that, it doesn't have to be signing up for a competition or running a marathon. It has to do something that makes you want to get up on your feet and do the work.
Okay.
Does that work or?
That will work.
Okay.
That will
It wasn't perfect, but.
Yeah.
But it's not about be perfect, right? That's what people tell me.
It's about, yeah, okay, that's cool. Why we keep this thing live so everyone can watch, right?
Yes. Okay, now kill it.
Okay.
I'm tired of being live.